Canadian racers, make sure your next set of seatbelts and racing suit are from Pro1Safety.ca. Pro1 Racing and Safety Products offer high-quality products made in the USA and now distributed in Canada. Pro1 Canada offers seatbelts, racing suits, helmets, and all sorts of safety accessories for drag racers. See for yourself why NHRA sportsmen world champions such as Bo Butner, Jeff Strickland, the Emmons brothers, Austin Williams, and many more rely on Pro1 Racing and Safety Products. Join the winners. Choose Pro1. Buy high-quality American-made products from your Canadian wholesale distributor at Pro1Safety.ca.
Hello and welcome back to the Bracket Life broadcast. Brandon here on this lovely Tuesday evening. Andrew will be joining us here in a few minutes, getting through, that end of the year little grind we all have going on as we all go through. We are close to October. It's kind of crazy. I just realized that. It's already the 23rd of September. Not a whole lot of racing left for many of us. I personally have one weekend left. We'll talk about that later on in the show, and we'll get through all that good stuff. But before we dive into the deep part, right, get into the countdown and whatnot, I'd like to start out by thanking our sponsors for presenting tonight's episode. Pro1Safety.ca, as you saw in the commercial before. Lots of great products, fire suits, all different safety equipment, seatbelts, things like that. Great shirts. Oh, that's this side. The mirror on the camera throws it off on me. Yeah, great products. My hat is in the motorhome, so I didn't go and grab that tonight before the show. But yeah, check it out. Pro1Safety.ca as we all get ready to head into winter. It's a shame to already have to say that, but we are getting close. Upgrades that you need, where you're going to upgrade fire suit, helmet, or your seatbelts, like I already said, get with them. Check that out, Pro1Safety.ca. Travis Ringeth out west, Matt's Auto Racing, Southern Ontario, Jerome Bellew for kind of Eastern Ontario and into Quebec. Down east, Jason McNeil and all the fellas down there. So yeah, check that out. We appreciate them supporting us, and we love to support Pro1Safety.ca as much as we can here as well. So we will dive into Canadian Countdown. Like I said, we'll have some good conversation here once we get Andrew rolling through. A couple weeks ago was the Maple Grove Reading National event for NHRA. I think that's the second race in the countdown, I believe. First or second race in the countdown, so big deal for all the pro cars, obviously. Big deal for a lot of folks up here that we race with. Mike Reynolds and Charlie Knopik specifically, we'll talk about, rolled down, both racing Super Gas, ended up going to the finals and meeting each other there. Mike Reynolds did get the win over Charlie. Rick Stroud also was still in. What did he lose? Did he lose at 4? No, he lost the round before. Lost at 8, I think. I believe that's when Rick lost. So we were down to 8, and I think there was 3 Canadians. I'll confirm that with Andrew when we do get back in. But yeah, it was a great weekend for those guys. Interesting watching, now that I've done some 90 racing myself. Interesting watching Mike do it. And then, let me just go through. Yeah, interesting watching Mike go and then not really be on the stop for very long. I haven't talked to Mike about that. Normally Mike's a super street guy, so 1090, not 990 goes down. So when you watched it, I watched the replay, and Mike just leaves like normal, right? Does a big wheel stand, carries it out way far, and gets trekking down the road. And then I'm unsure of kind of how much he was killing or what the situation was, but he's barely going 140 miles an hour down there to go 990, and then racing against guys like Charlie, who's, that car's fast in his Roadster, and he's doing close to 170, if not over that, in the quarter mile. So quite a big difference, but cool deal nonetheless. Awesome for both those guys who race together, learn. Mike grew up learning a lot from Charlie. So cool for them to go to the finals together. Obviously just cool for either one to get the win, but Mike's first national event victory was really cool to watch. And the interview, right? He was pretty worked up, and his dad Kevin was here at the shop actually No, we saw him at the racetracks when we saw him, and it was pretty unreal. So had a great conversation with him and whatnot, and so good for all those guys. Louis Gill from Montreal also was the winner in Super Stock. This was Louis' first national event victory as well. So that's huge, man. Like that's when I first started doing the '90s stuff, I was talking to Mike Reynolds about it. And we talked, the dream of just going and winning the national event and getting the real Wally. Like we got these ones here, right? And this so real Wally, right? We earned this thing. But you get the real one, you know what I'm saying? Like the full size national event one. That's the one everybody dreams of getting. Obviously, a world championship one would also be wicked, but it is what it is. That you got to start somewhere. So really cool deal for all those guys. I believe Sean Cowie did well in Top Alcohol Dragster. I believe he was there. I haven't really paid attention to a whole lot of that stuff. Sean's obviously a big runner for the national championship right now, so it should be cool to watch him as the racing keeps going on. We'll roll through. We'll hit the million quick. Not a whole lot, I guess, to talk about for Canadian results that way. There were a few Canadians down there. I know Jamie Bridge was there. Who else? Trevor Deeks. There was at least one more. Andrew will know once he does get on. But nobody with really huge results. I didn't honestly watch the million a whole lot. Life's very busy at home, right? There's not, we watch more Miss Rachel, I guess, than we do drag racing these days. Speaking of Andrew, here we are.
Hey.
So yeah, we don't get to watch a whole lot of racing as much right now, or I haven't gotten to. But Andrew, we were just discussing the million and kind of Canadian results from there. Not a whole lot down there. Jamie Bridge was there. Trevor Deeks was there. Who else? Who was I missing?
Dylan Hashey was
Dylan Hashey.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I think he went to round 4 on the combined Saturday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Days there, but yeah.
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah. Hey, to the money, I think. Great. So I take it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was good racing. We will. Well, I don't know. The million was wild, just how large it was. Obviously, right? Paying out $750,000 to the winner. Largest million there has ever been to this point. It's interesting how the race has changed and grown from what used to be kind of when I went, and I believe the same when you went. 2017, 2018 was more of a single entry event. A lot of guys, I think, were single, like they would double the rest of it, and a lot of guys were single entered for the million itself. Now it really seems like just everybody's doubled.
Yeah. It seems like it's growing to one of those events, particularly with the loss of the time trial on the same day there, that the strategy of having, two tables or 2 chairs at the table, right? That if one goes down, I mean, is it an $800 buyback? It's somewhere just under 50%, I think, or
I think it was $500 for that.
5 on the million.
I think it was $2,000 to enter and then 5 to buy back in.
Yeah. So either way, to have something around that, that sizing, and have two seats at the table to be able to make a couple hits, right, and get there. It's kind of become the necessity, I think, to some extent, particularly with something that's over 300, 400 cars, right? But not to say that you can't make it with a single entry, but that's just, I think, how you see some of that evolving to a small extent. Yeah.
Well, and when we're talking now with the purse being, the winning purse being $750,000, $2,000 an entry, that's not terrible, right? You put $4,000 in, you got to do a lot of work to get there. I think 26 cars left there was when the big split went down. So you get to that point in the race, then that makes a big difference.
Even I think unless it's changed, even three win lights puts you back into payout column at a fairly large chunk of your entry.
I think so. I can
three to 4 wins puts you even on that. I think right. So I mean, reality being at $2,000, if it's 4 win lights to break even, right, on a 10-round race, I think if you don't have the confidence, not that you say you can put 4 win lights on. There's a lot of people who are very capable of doing it who didn't do it there, but you got the confidence to go into that race, you probably got the confidence to say, I can at least put 4 win lights up, and now you're playing with house money to an extent.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the million, right?
Yeah.
All in. Different for the guys that go every year and are closer to it, and that's a big expense, right? You go to these races and you start spending $2,000 just for Friday, every single year. That's gonna hinder it a lot without a big return coming back. You know what I'm saying? But for the guys, like us that will go once every however often, right? You got to go all in. It's the million.
Well, it's a U.S. Nationals version for bracket racing, right?
Absolutely.
You talk to class racers. U.S. Nationals is the event, right? You go to it. It's a week-long race, albeit it's one race over the week, but it's still a 5-6 day investment, 7 depending on parking. No different than the million. You win that one, you've regardless of whether you ever won a world title, you've still won the U.S. Nationals. Well, that's the million. That's the OG million. Regardless of the fact that there's been bigger payouts or there's been $1 million actual payouts, that's still, you win the OG million, you go down in history, right?
Absolutely.
And that's the type of event that you go there with guns blazing, enjoy the experience, because there's that's the part of it, but just to be part of it is a huge aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will talk more about parts of the million in a later episode, and particularly like reaction times and things like that. Lots been discussed on Facebook, but we'll save that for a full episode. Talking about legends and winning the million. The Tuesday was a Monday or Tuesday race day, the Race of Champions.
I think it was Monday, I believe.
And then round 2, Donnie Hagar is perfect at 0. You go down in history for a reason. Those dudes are all bad dudes, so really cool deal to watch that.
Throw that out there. Donnie Hagar packed up to camp and went to the bracket finals for the WDRA as well.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was in Mid-Michigan later that week, competing for a world championship title bout to qualify to go to the WDRA World Championship. So I'm sure there's another story to come out of the million that albeit the result wasn't there for him, but still a man on a mission there, going to St. Louis back to Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll roll through now. We'll hit some. I know there's a lot of racing and everything like that. We won't really talk about necessarily race results right now because there are so much. We'll hit some points championships. First, Greenfield wrapped up their season. We'll go through first the quick 660 point standings. For that, Brett Ramsey with the win over Wyatt Rankin. Brett's been on fire. If you paid attention to any Down East stuff, Brett's just been ripping it up. So it's been pretty wild. So obviously Brett first, Wyatt in second place. Riley Green with his first season in his new to him dragster, or since it's been all updated and whatnot. And Riley's been all over it. He's done really well. Getting to know that race car, race with against a lot of great people too. So that's the top 3 there. Cool to watch. I love paying attention to the Downey stuff. It's just a lot of fun. Some different stuff we have going on. Bike and sled. Devin Mansfield got the win. Championship there. Junior Bryson McNeil did seal the deal. I wasn't sure. He was pretty close last time I talked to Jason. Or when I talked to Jason before that event. So yeah, Bryson did seal that up and get the championship. What we got next? I'm unsure what class that one is. Brett Ramsey does double up with the box championship as well. This time, runner-up was John Rankin. So he takes the championship away from Wyatt Rankin in quick 660, and then takes away from John Rankin in the box class. So not very friendly.
Not on the Rankin Christmas list here for cards. Anyway.
Definitely not going to be. But cool deal for them. A lot of great racing. And on their final weekend, I think it was last weekend, they had 180 cars or entries on the property at Greenfield. So like I said, we're a lot of racing. I don't want to hit every single one because we're going to miss a bunch of stuff. But just a cool thing to point out, the Greenfield was packed this
That
past
was a
weekend.
great
It was some
turnout.
great racing to finish that all off. So, yeah, a lot of fun. Cool. As I look through all these Facebook posts, right, I see all the things that everybody's been putting up, and to have a championship Sunday, and yeah, I made a post about it myself, right? It's an awesome time of year.
Oh yeah.
Like, weather's crisp, everything. Every round win matters so much. So, a lot of fun for those guys, and congratulations to all the champions. We'll hit Shannonville's points champions. They just sealed that up last weekend as well. They do have one more event. I think it's just a Saturday race in October. Junior Kara Roberts and Carly Parker's looks like a tie. I'm not sure if they did how they do a kind of got there first or not situation, but congratulations to them. And Junior Pro Brian Gilbert with the win. Kevin Cardinal runner up in there. Cool deal. We have Brian Gilbert first, Kevin Cardinal second, Cecily Pacheco third, John Chatwood fourth, and Sam Chatwood fifth. So that's
Not family
Kevin
there.
Cardinal is part of the Chatwood group. So in the top 5, we have 3 out of the Chatwood camp for semi-pro at Shannonville, which has been a long-standing thing. I'm talking about the Chatwoods winning at Shannonville for as long as Shannonville's been open. So cool deal for them. Good for Brian for the championship. Bike, Kevin Curvin gets the win there. Go to Super Pro, another Chatwood, shockingly enough. Jason Chatwood with the points championship. Coming back, it looks like, on the final race day, race 8, with 6 points to pass Darren Frazzo. Darren did miss race on Saturday.
Yeah.
I believe there was a wedding or something like that was going on. So Darren missed that. Jason comes around him on Sunday and takes it down. So good for him.
It was only one round win too when you factor in the attendance point. Like, it was a super tight finish there. So
absolutely. So cool deal. Good for him. This is at least the second points championship that Jason has won since Chuck's taken over. So really cool deal. Dustin Baldwin gets the win in Sportsman, the championship. This was a really close one. So Dustin has a total of 26 points. Aaron Felstein, second place, has a total of 23 points. And on the final day, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm fairly certain, they came down to the final round, the two of them.
Oh, really?
Because Aaron has 6 points, and I believe Aaron did win. I did see a post that Aaron won. Dustin has 5 points. That tells me they did bring that down to the finals.
Absolutely.
So really cool deal. Good for them. Dustin did get the win by 3 rounds. 2 rounds plus a perfect attendance point. So technically 3 points ahead. But yeah, could have been really close, it was really close. And those two guys battle it out, right? Dustin loses round 1 there. Aaron goes on to win. That's a different deal.
Yeah. So, that scenario unfolds much differently.
Yeah. So a cool deal. Good for them. And that's a great Sunday. Doing that, going through and coming right down to the wire with those two guys. Nostalgia, Kevin Pelleter gets the win. Dave Cardinal is runner-up by 1 point. Another one out of that Chatwood Cardinal clan. So huge year for them at Shannonville, as like I said, always is for that whole group. Always great racers. In trophy class, Greg Clotton gets the championship over Ken Schraff. Yeah, we'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Ken knows who he is. Yeah. So good for those guys. That's there's a lot of talking. It's a lot of wind that came out of it. But yeah, that's good. I love a good points chase. As we all know, we've done it many times before. Yeah, a lot of fun for those guys, and also neat when we get to actually see how it all unfolds through the points right here, kind of in real time. So, yeah.
One of our next episodes, we go over, we'll hit up RCSS points only because, fantastic finishes there. I was at their final points race a couple weeks ago. Got a win and a runner-up in Quick Sportsman over the 2 days. But just the tail of the tape of the final points day, I believe between Saturday and Sunday, the Quick Sportsman class, which I found myself apparently in the middle of messing up or making it difficult for the points championship, there was 3 or 4 points lead chases over 12 and a half hours based on how Saturday ended. I think Rob McCallum finished Saturday as the points leader, woke up Sunday morning as the points leader. After round 1 wasn't the points leader, and then after I think round 3 or 4 there was a different points leader. So some neat points chases that we'll talk about on that one as we get to another episode. But I thought that was one of those wild deals where start of Saturday we had one person leading points. By the end of Saturday it was different, and by Sunday there was 3 different changes on top of that.
Yeah, so it sounds like a stressful time when you're in.
I would suggest so.
Yeah.
Then you get the guy like me just rolling in there, just not caring and
just
laying
let you go, and that's it.
No,
that's it. We do have some race results we will hit first, just because of the bracket finals situation. Right, really cool deal. Not just time it, just because I was there. Don't worry, my name's not on any of these lists either. I did not have a good weekend. But we will talk about the NHRA bracket finals at Lustville Dragway. The first one was of its kind, including some RCSS racers that we just spoke about. Cool deal. Everybody rolled in Friday, had some gamblers races go on. We'll talk mainly about the main event stuff. Saturday for the bracket finals, the official NHRA race. You win, you get an entry into Vegas. Super Pro was also $5,000 to win. So, pretty cool. High stakes, right? Whether you go to Vegas or not, still a big deal. Plus the big Wally. I talked about it earlier in the show.
The division type Wally, right?
Yeah. Yes. Big unit. Great racing. At the end of the day, in Super Pro came down to Cody Levasseur over Pam Rennie. That was a great race. Cody's still currently looking at options for getting to Vegas.
Yep.
Pam is on the backup call for potentially.
Oh, okay.
Make it. We'll see. See what happens. Everything's up in the air. Vegas is a long way away, so we all. That's how it goes.
I think it's only like 42 hours or something like that driving. Like it's not
minor.
Yeah.
Minor. Yeah. Pro break that has not ever, I think, been raced at Lustville. So essentially no box, right? Trans break with no delay box.
Pro ET, whatever we're used to calling it.
Yep. Dustin Taylor got the win over Frank Anger. So Dustin sounds like heading to Vegas.
Yep.
Pat Aleri gets the win in semi-pro. I'm unsure of the guy's name who he ran in the finals. I did not see that. But Pat not going to Vegas. I believe the runner-up.
Dennis Boyko, I think.
There you go. I believe he is going to Vegas. Yes. Yep. Correct. I didn't know he was from Cayuga. But yeah, sounds like he's going there as well. In bike sled, Mike Konopacki. I'm so surprised. Gets the win.
It's a shocking result there for the bike sled class.
Yeah. So good for Mike. I was at our pit spot when Mike won. We had a few big fist pumps when he was coming through the top end, and Mike's jacked up. There was not a question.
That's a man on a mission. Because he 2 years ago went to Vegas and runnered up, second in the world. And that guy is one of the best bike racers to have ever existed, for the sole reason that you give him a mission, he will figure out a way and a path and will not stop until he gets it accomplished. If you're one of the other 7 bikes going to Vegas, I would suggest, if you're not going to bring your A+ game, you need to figure out how to bring an A++ game, because he will be.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a cool deal. There is one more class I believe I'm missing that I don't have wrote down.
Junior
Junior. I was going to get Junior, but Junior doesn't get the chance to go to Vegas. I can't think of it. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, the other class, there's Super Pro, Mod, which is bottom bulb, Sportsman. There's EV, but I'm not sure that we had an EV title.
Not. No. Either way.
Yep.
Congratulations to everybody. Good luck on the trip to Vegas. Should be a lot of fun. Junior dragster Haley Anger did get the win Saturday. It's good for Haley. And yeah, there was a quite an eventful Saturday night there. Gamblers Race had the Outlaw Streetcar Shootout situation. Yes. That was interesting to watch. Different stuff. Some fast stuff though. They were dipping into the 4s, so and it was getting cold. So at the end of the night, they weren't quite getting down as well. Like they were still going 530s, 540s at the end, but
pedaling in to make the run too, which was impressive to watch.
Yeah. but we did have a 4-second run out of that. All these dudes are on small tires and whatnot too. There's a little pickup truck that was like carrying the wheels like crazy out there, went 506 or 508.
Yep.
Yeah, some great racing, really cool to watch, and great to see everyone show up for this event. Sunday quick, Super Pro Fred Angers gets the win over Louis Gagne. Dominic Germain over Blaine Weaver. Miguel Nadeau over Logan Gagne in Junior Dragster. Logan in a borrowed race car. Logan blew his engine up Saturday and was in Cole Krotner's Junior for Sunday. Cole was not there.
That's a good day to jump in someone else's car and still have a good result like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lustville Dragway points. Dave Rennie did make it a very stressful Sunday for me. I made it a very stressful Sunday by going out and racing Landon Urslack first and second round and getting whacked both times.
Ouch.
But yeah, Dave ended up finishing one round behind me for the overall Super Pro points. So I did get that one done. Really cool to do. I don't know, just cool to do a points championship anywhere, and then to do it. Now have 4 or 5 of them from multiple different tracks and series, stacking up pretty good. And it just means a lot, right? Anytime you're racing your home track
for you, or is this a repeat?
Yeah, first one at Lustville.
Is it? Congrats.
First overall, I was like they gave me an honor. I was a dragster champion last year, but I think I ended up finishing like 3rd overall.
The first overall championship.
First overall champion. Now, like, I didn't get on the trophy when I won the dragster side.
Yeah.
Now I'll be on the trophy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
that's a really cool deal. For a spot that I've raced at for as long as I can remember, right? Yeah. So really neat, and haven't always got a chance to ever like race a full season there. So now to really put your head down, do it, show up for every event, and lay it all out there, and fortunate enough to be the champion at the end.
Yep. Very nice. Congrats, buddy. That's a big one.
Thank you. Semi-pro DGR Racing, DGR Motorsports. Daryl Jensen and Gabe Jensen get the championship. I think they were switching back and forth. I believe Gabe did most of the driving this year. Didn't really see how much was going on, right? I got a lot going on in my pit spot, but either way, the red Camaro kept making laps.
Oh yeah,
so
kind of very good year in general, which proves in the championship, right? Every picture I've seen from out there seemed to have a red Camaro in a winner circle or in the late round. So
yeah, absolutely. And DGR Racing also leading the points currently in the Super Tour as well. So potential for a double up there at Lustville and at the Tour. So would be really cool. We'll see what goes on with that. Always tough to beat Stephen Ballantyne in a full year championship. So Stephen's he's a killer there and done really well. So I know Stephen got 2nd place in semi. So good for them. That's a hard fought battle, as we all know what this is like. Talking about Stephen Ballantyne, semi-pro challenge winner. There was a challenge, I believe it was for just I think it was the smaller Lustville weekend, like smaller with asterisks, right? Didn't include the Super Tour weekends. All regular Lustville points days. Stephen Ballantyne with the win there. The championship on that part. So really good for them. Junior Dragster, Julia Malcolm, I believe for the 3rd time in a row.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know it. She was at the Night of Champions last year. And I want to suggest maybe the year before, she wasn't there last year before. So yeah, that's a 3-peat.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
So Julia Malcolm with the championship once again. Awesome for her. I don't know, proving to be just like her dad and going to dominate for as long as she's in a race car.
Yeah, Chicago Bulls have nothing on her type of thing. Like this is going to be that
Look
type
at
of
it.
deal. Yeah.
Look at it. That's all I got to say, right? Very dangerous situation coming up for anybody in juniors for the next few years, and dangerous for anybody that's not in juniors that's getting ready to be the old has-beens when all these kids get out and start whooping our rear ends.
Valid point.
Andrew, I do want to just to finish it out. I know it's been a long Canadian countdown. Yeah. It's longer than I was planning. I'm like, we'll just talk about some points championships. It'll be quick. One race I do want to hit, though, because this is the first of its kind, was the fall finale at Saskatchewan International Raceway. Really big deal. Really great for these guys to be putting on events like this and have support like this.
Yeah.
So we've done this, right? We've had Braden on. We talked about Saskatchewan. They did all their upgrades, got the new track surface. They were having some problems with that. They got it all fixed. Everything's good now. Sounds like it was a wicked weekend. 149 entries to kick off Saturday's 5K. So really good deal. Dalen Miller gets the win over Jerry Brown in the Saturday final. Miller was 10 dead 4. Brown was 006 and got behind to be, put 2 above the dial and 17th thou behind. So good for Dalen Miller, first 5K check of the weekend.
Awesome.
We go to Sunday, all no box final. We've talked about the West Coast guys, right? The no box is just it's a different breed, right?
Yep. Yeah.
These dudes are not scared of anybody and run just as
they'll enter anything. And,
guys. Yep. Does not matter. Travis Van Marion, who was doubled at 6, rolls into the final against Brandon Bennett. Travis lets go 14 and goes 4 above, while Bennett was late and 1 above. So Travis Van Marion with the win in the last 5K check of the weekend. These racers we did talk about, right? All one class essentially, which is some no box winners moving into the top up side of the ladder. So, great racers there. We do have sportsman winners, Chuck Acaster and Eric Humphreys for each day. So cool deal. I just want to hit that quick. I know we were trying not to hit too many races, but that one was really special to continue growing in it's the middle of Canada, right? Yeah. Not really Western Canada, right? Kind of right in the middle.
Well, and a lot of travelers in there, right? And you see that like Ryan O'Connor, right, in the quarterfinals there. Some notable characters too, like Monty Beagle, right? I think he was driving a dragster at that event.
Oh, really?
I think I might be misremembering. I remember seeing some of the results there, but I thought he was in a pretty quick dragster. But again, might have misremembered that. So let's not go with that as a factual fact, just more of me insinuating. But again, some folks from that Alberta, distance, travel type of area going out there, and that's awesome to see that for them, and see the growth. Particularly when you look at what we talked about out east, right? Seeing 180 entries at a 5K event out there, and seeing 140 plus entries at an event in Saskatchewan, right? The health of Canadian racing in other areas outside of our area is still very very good.
And cool when we talk about races like the $1 million race. Yeah. Right, paying $750,000 to win, and $2,000 enter, and all this stuff right now. How massive that is, and that's why we've made this show too. Was to talk about this stuff and talk about Canadian racing. That's a huge deal, right? 149 entries for a 5K in Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
like I don't know. It just sounds unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just never something that I really ever thought of happening. Like. Not that I put much thought into it, but it's a really cool deal, and that's a big deal that needs to be talked about. Like I said, 180 entries at Greenfield Dragway.
Yeah.
Massive.
That's
great for those guys. Great for drag racing.
Dedication from those folks to go to these events, right? These if you're sitting in any part of Ontario, realistically on the south end of it, I should say maybe, and in around the southern part of Quebec, right? 3 or 4 hours puts you at most of the racetracks in your local vicinity, and not jumping over the border. 3 or 4 hours would be a godsend for some of the folks traveling some of these events, right? Like home track 5-6 hours, right? So maybe more depending on where they're coming from. So to see that many entries show up and that much dedication from folks in all these areas is gigantic, right? And it's great to see. Absolutely fantastic to see.
Absolutely. We had a good comment from Mark Bernard, suggesting the bracket racing is growing. I think it is growing, and I think people are doubling down on supporting racetracks and series or events that support them.
Yeah.
Right? Place like Saskatchewan, putting a lot of money, putting a lot of effort into their program, into their race facility and the surface, everything like that. Greenfield had a lot of improvements, I think, last year or 2 years ago. Cape Breton, I think we spoke about, had a lot of big improvements. All those tracks, right? So many different things that are going on coast to coast that are, really helping the racers be able to invest in their racing program, because they know the track is serious about what's going on and they're serious with the future of it, right? You can't invest all this money in and then only use it for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
I need to know there's an investment in. We got a lot of racing left.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I got a lot more years of driving race cars. So we need to make sure that we all support this, and really cool to see it all happening.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all. Right.
So, Andrew, let's dive into our actual topic for tonight. I guess finishing out the season strong. We don't have too many notes. We're just going to let it fly on this one. I'll go first on this. Kind of lead it off.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of posts about it. Obviously, you and I are in the this Bracket Racing Elite group.
Yep.
Read a lot or watch a lot of those videos. Luke talks a lot about Luke and Justin talking about the finishing stretch and finishing strong for points championship. We talked about it last year a bunch when I was trying to seal the Super Tour championship last year. Came through, got it done. I thought about it a lot this weekend heading into the bracket finals weekend. Knew where I was in the standings. The weekend before had an awesome weekend, right? Huge weekend for points. Went through, made up a lot of ground, passed Dave, got 5 rounds ahead. I'm like, oh yeah, we're sitting comfortable. You and I spoke a bit before, right? We were messaging back and forth. I'm like, Dave's 5 rounds behind me. All I got to do is turn on a couple win lights, and then he cannot catch me.
Yeah.
I did not turn on a win light Sunday with my points entry.
And conversely, Dave had to put on a run, and it's exactly what he did, right?
And that's how he started. It was rolling, right? He came up round 1, he's perfect. Yeah. And then ends up getting the bye round 2. I think he lost round 5.
We lost to a perfect light, right? Like he got. It was a run to put Dave on the trailer, right? Yeah. So that's so it's funny. You go from 2 different points, right? You walk in going, okay, like 5 round reset insurmountable, but this is kind of the just tap it into the cup type of conversation that all of a sudden just a couple bad bounces one direction and some very good runs by Dave in the other, and we're now going round to round on updates on how is this shaking out.
So what I want to hit on is how now you can't win every weekend, you can't win every round. I totally get that. I wasn't happy with how I performed on Sunday. It wasn't bad by any means. Like, it wasn't terrible. Ran into some good runs. Like I said, I ended up with the random pairings. I was up first both times. Landon was late. Nobody else was in that right lane. Lando rolls up beside me both times. Or no, I think I had him. I was supposed to have a bye with my points entry. So I was at the very end, and I run Landon. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, so round 2, lose. Round 2, I come up with my points entry first. Landon waits a bit. Like I said, nobody pulled up in that right lane. We end up running first pair down the track for round 2. Yep. Whacks me again. And he was really good. He was 5 and 7 or 7 and 5, whatever order, and then was going dead on both times. I was 20 both times, in the 20s. Not good. Not my average reaction time. Much worse than my average reaction time all year. I've been trying very hard not to be 20 at all, and have done very well until the final day of the points series. So, kind of whether the pressure did it or everything else that's going on did it, or you just flat miss it, right? And kind of get in your head. Rolled in, right? I've made a million runs at Luskville. I know what my delay box should be. All of a sudden this weekend, it's way out. Like, I'm 10 or 12 numbers out, or more in, because I kept red lighting all Saturday. But how, that was a tough day for that. And then so hard for you to stay in that great mindset throughout the day. But there was a bunch of people commenting on my Facebook stuff. It's not about how you finish the last day. It's about all the work you put in all year to put yourself in a position to be successful and get that championship at the end of the year. So you don't just win it in one event. I did not win this in one event, the full year thing. So that's kind of the point for everybody to remember, is that I went in with that mentality that I have to win this today. I have to go out and win, where I didn't need to go out and win the championship. I just needed to do something productive.
Yep.
And did not
win lights. And this is vastly different conversation about a lockout now. You know, two wins means that there isn't 7-round wins on the table now available, right? Game over, right?
Yeah.
And that's the tough part, right? You got to go from the mentality of some days, weeks where you're looking at like you want to put the win on the table, and then you get to the end of the points season, and all of a sudden now there is a shift in paradigm where round 3 finish locks it out, right? You know, so now it's a round win at a time. Not that every week you aren't looking at that, because you got to put 7, 8 together in order to, you know, take the win. Meaning you got to look at it round by round. But the reality being, the high focus, just put 3 round wins on the board, and that is sometimes a weird paradigm shift in the focus level, right? Of the most important rounds today are not going to be 5, 6, and 7. They're going to be 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And if we get to 4, everything else is just gravy, right?
For sure. And it'll be interesting how I kind of recover to come into this weekend coming up, right, with the Super Tour in a similar situation. I guess I have a 6-round lead in the tour right now. Anything can happen. There's lots of racing left.
14 rounds on the table at least.
With a drop day, right? So then people can also improve. Like, the possibilities are endless for how this weekend can go.
Yeah.
So you have to go into that same mindset of live by the sword, die by the sword. I've said that before. One time, setting up on the tree or whatever. But that's how you have to be. You have to go lay it all out on the line, and just put your best foot forward and stay focused on each round. Right? Don't make it too big. Don't make it all about it's this big glaring thing that's above your head. And then you lose focus of what you're trying to do, which is just let go and run dead on.
Just try to avoid the buzzsaws when they're coming at you, right? So
yeah, exactly. So interesting for a different take on that, right? Because I've always felt that I've been very strong at staying in my own lane, or staying out of my head with that stuff, that I don't let the moment get too big. I still stay very composed. And this was the first time, I don't know, I don't want to say ever. I'm sure I felt like this before, but first time in a long time that I've kind of made the moment too big, and then it had cost me on the racetrack for it, right? There was strategies that I could have been executing or trying to do that, potentially could have turned the win lights on against Landon, right? If those are great races, and you lose. But when I didn't lay my best runs out on the line when it did matter. So kind of for everyone else who is competing in points chases or trying to seal the deal or finish off the year strong, don't make the moment too large. Just enjoy it for what it is, because the year is ending down, winding down, and we're gonna run out of racing, and we're just gonna be all sitting here staring at the wall again here for however many months. So make sure to enjoy that, and don't let the pressure get to you, I guess. I don't know how else to say it, right? The right way, but
enjoy the moment. As you said it very well, right? And that's the reality of it. You put yourself in a position to be in a spot that many people aren't. In fact, majority of everyone else you raced against all year are not, right? And regardless of whether you're the one, within a grasp of the win, or the one that's sitting in the lead position, hoping to just keep the ground even between you and everyone behind you. There's fun to be had here, right? There's moments to look back on. I mean, depending on how it all comes out, there might be moments of regret on not being able to get there, but the same token, the path there is fun. There's a lot of folks who would give a lot after a long season to be in a position to say, maybe I'm 6 rounds behind and fighting for it. I have an outside shot, but either way, it can go right. But it's a fun spot to be in. And even those competing, again, RCSS, I'll bring it up. Talking to a couple of my competitors out there, and Mod ET, the title was locked out. There was no one was going to catch Dan Pepper, but they were clawing and scratching for second. And it very much came down to a scenario on Sunday where it was if this win light comes on over here and that win light doesn't come on over there, and an extra win light's put on here, there's a different second place finish. And that was what was being talked about in round 3 and round 4, as the two competitors were still going, toe to toe, needing one of them to back out, right? So end of the day, like, that's the fun stuff, right? It doesn't have to be first place. There's a lot of pride in the line to still finish second or third, particularly tough to beat, tough to win in classes.
Absolutely, right? Tough to win anything. and then do it over a long period of time against great racers that all, we're all doing the same thing. We're all running the same racetracks, the same environments, the same day, right? The same challenges and kind of humps we have to get over. So, it really is a grind that I think is underrated. I think a points championship is in certain things, right? Like obviously we all need to have, you take a year that you focus on points races or big money stuff or whatever. But if you're going to commit to a series and do all that, right? Like the effort that does go in, you might as well be trying to overall make that whole year worth something. Even if it's not like a huge monetary value, right? The prestige of being a champion kind of outweighs a lot of other things. We talk about that or look at it with certain people in sports and things like that. Would you rather win a season MVP or would you win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Right. And then all the champions, people that end up winning MVP, are the guys that would pick to win a Super Bowl, right? Because it's all about the long game and it's all about winning the whole year, winning everything, not just focusing on smaller. I guess you got to focus on the small victories first.
Yeah.
But either way, it's that full championship. That's what gets wrote down.
Yes.
Right. That's what gets wrote on the trophy. I have some old championship trophies I have. Right. Those are the names that don't ever get erased.
Yeah.
When they get put on the trophy. Right. There's a new winner every single day, every single weekend. But the champions will always be the champions.
There's a bit of a live on internalization. Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So need to, I don't know, as I get older, I'm not saying I'm not that old, but older and wiser, and I've done more series and things like that. It does hold a bigger spot in my heart for being a points champion and things like that, and what it does mean.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely. Particularly when you're checking places off that haven't been to. That was one of the things when I was chasing points quite a bit. That was a goal and a lofty one, but. To my knowledge, no one down this way had ever won at the 3 tracks we have individually, a title at each one of them. And when it started to come into place that there was an opportunity to do that, right? It was a big challenge to do it because again, it takes a lot of years to win a championship, and it took a lot of years to be able to collect what I did. But to be able to knock that off the list and say that I've accomplished that, we've hung our hats at all 3 facilities, right? As a champion, just a goal that I still to this day cherish and relish. So even with my points chasing years long past from a just interest standpoint at this juncture, right? I still hang my hat on that and go, that's something that we've accomplished and we've done as a team, and as an individual aspect that I'm just beyond proud of, right? Regardless of how it went down.
And people remember those things. Right?
Yeah.
People know those stats, right? Whether it gets regularly talked about or not, but people know who was the champion, right? They remember being there for championship years. They remember being there for a championship banquet when you were the champ, or like whoever, right? It was a generalization, right? And what that means, because we all chase it, right? We're all chasing that same thing. So yeah, it's really neat. And fun to follow, cool to see what it does mean to different folks. I know, like off the top of my head, when we talked about Chris Daniquay was the champion at Luskville 2 years ago, I believe. And like Gerald and Chris been racing there forever, right? At Luskville, and then haven't been out to race much since then. Lots of stuff going on, right? Life goes on, whatever. But Chris and Gerald were Luskville Dragway champions. Chris Daniquay is on the Luskville Dragway Trophy, and if they never come to racetrack again, to race, right? It doesn't matter. Chris was a Luskville Dragway champion, and that holds some weight. Chris won races, and Chris done well, and this and that. And so, like, just one of those things that we already spoke, right? It does immortalize you a little bit in your own world, right?
Yep.
Not everybody's going to know your name in everywhere, but it doesn't matter, So you look back at that trophy in 20 years, your name's on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be
Those
hundreds
future junior dragster drivers moving up into Super Pro, right? The name's there, for those future champions to see and be part of that, list looking back now, right? And that's, and that's one of the things I always give credit to. That facilities that maintain that specialness of championships, right? The lure of it versus being a little bit dismissive of it are always the ones I think that get the longest and most prestigiousness to their programs, right? Because they don't they remember the history, they make it part of the importance, right? And those facilities are the ones that and I think Norwalk's one of the places I'll use as like the crowning, and like, no, it's not Canadian, but their points program is it's a points program. It's nothing different than what any other track runs, but to win there in Ohio, when you look at it, the level of prestige to say I've been a champion at Norwalk, because they hold it special. They make sure that it's as big as some world championships, right? Those type facilities and those places, whether it be big or small across the country, are the ones that I always give full credit to, because they also realize, regardless of what they can hand out for money, regardless of what they can hand out, they still make sure that that championship meant something to that person that year and to not be forgotten about in future years. And I think that's what makes a great facility makes a good program a great program in overall, right? Lusfield's done a great job at that as well, right?
And that's why in Ohio, when Norwalk has a points race,
Yeah.
you don't put a race on.
No, I've
flat out everybody's going to Norwalk for the points race.
Yeah, I literally talk to promoters who have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to win races. They're like, yeah, we can't do a race that weekend. And it's like, what do you mean you can't do a race that weekend? Yeah, Norwalk has a 1-day points race. Like, you have 4 days. Yeah, no, just
will not happen.
Yeah, that's how special that is. And when you can get to that level of and again, there's other facilities do the same thing, right, in around our area, across Canada, right? When they put on a points race, that is the points race that's going to happen, because there's a dedicated group, and you're just not going to get them to travel because they are invested in the points program, right? And carving their name into the history of that program, because it's important, and it's made to be important and made to be special, right? That's how you build a good customer base, right? This can divulge into a great conversation over, how to build a good business plan on top of just taking our addictive level of racing and making it special, put someone on a pedestal, right, with their points program. But, this is, again, a great conversation. I think to segue to different parts, if you will. But,
absolutely.
Yeah.
You take a shiny little carrot like that and dangle it in front of all our faces and say, if you win this, then you're special.
Yeah.
We'll all be chasing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Make them feel special. Do all the parts you need to. Right. Make them feel like they're the kings or the queens of the world they live in. Yeah, it doesn't take much. We clearly don't do this for necessarily the monetary side of it. If we did, it's you're bad at math. But to have the recognition on top of at least something what we feel is in return, boy, like that is how you build a rapport, and that's how you build repeat customers, and that is how you build something special.
Absolutely. Sandro, as we finish out the rest of 2025, this won't totally do it, right? There's some more racing going on, and I know a bunch of folks that are going to head a bit south throughout the end of October, I guess. Most people are still going to be racing up here for the end of September this weekend. NHRA Canadian National Open final weekend at TMP this weekend coming up. So points championships will be crowned there as well. So that'll be a cool thing to talk about. We'll go over all those championships when they are finished. Bracket Super Tour at Naperville this weekend. Final one for that. Big racing Saturday, Sunday. 10K to win Super Pro Saturday, 5K Sunday. I think it's $2,000 to win semi both days. Mm-hmm. There's a big money race at this weekend at Miramichi. I'm sure there's lots of other action going on all around. So good luck to everyone who is out racing. Good luck to everyone who is finishing up your points chases, points championships. Stay focused.
World championships. WDRA was posting all their finalists from the racetracks who were heading to WDRA world titles, which I think off the top of my head, I think Drew Buchner's taken 2 entries, box and no box at a St. Thomas. Kevin Knight, box at a Grand Bend. I know I'm missing a bunch there. Those are the ones off the top of my head, because those are the circles that I most look at the classes I run in. Talbot. I'm sure there's a Talbot heading out of Grand Bend. I'd be shocked if not two.
We talked about that. I think there's two.
And Brad, I think.
Jay
and Jeff, I believe. I think Brad. They were all fighting for points titles amongst all their various classes because that's just what the Talbots do. Every year it's a roll of dice on who's going to go on their camp because they're all so good. But yeah, so World Championships coming up, final points weekends. Basically, the final points weekend, I think of Super Tour, NHRA National Open. I think almost everything else is pretty much wrapped up. Their points schedules up this way. And not to be outdone, IHRA, that Drag Race 42, a plethora of Canadian entries. Peyton's, Tony Pontieri, I think Jeff Veal. I saw it was Jeff Veal or Chatterson. Possibly both, but out of our way in A Fuel, heading down to top alcohol fuel class. I'm probably missing a bunch more. I think McMillan, Brian McMillan and Corrine are heading down in Super Gas, Super Rod, whichever super class you want to call it. So yeah, should be good. Be interesting to watch all that and see how that goes down there as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Should be really good. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to finish out the year strong and see where the chips all lie at the end of this.
Yeah. I'll just agree with there. It's going to be a fun couple weeks as we finish off this last little stretch run. So
yeah, exactly. One final announcement before we do roll. We are going to be switching for the winter months to a monthly show format. Everyone's got a lot going on. Obviously, Rachel and myself are expecting our second baby here anytime. Yes, I will be at the racetrack this weekend. I'll be ready if I need to leave. But Rachel said, we got a points championship that we're chasing. So we got to go.
Yeah.
That's what she said. She's all in. It's not just me sitting here begging to go. Rachel said, hey, you might as well turn as many win lights on, win as many championships as you can driving her. So we're still looking good. We're still looking decent for 3. We'll see. Yeah. I'll let you know by the next show. Well, before the next show, we will know how that all shapes out. But yeah, so we'll be going down to once a month for the winter months for at least a few.
Yep.
We will be announcing kind of when we're going to do that. I don't want to tell you it's going to be the first or last Tuesday of every month.
We're
now we will figure that out.
Yep.
But yeah, just follow along Bracket Life brand, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want. Just, we'll let you know. We'll keep you all in the loop. But yeah, good luck to everyone out there racing, getting after it. Wish you all the best of luck. Excited to see, if you are a points champion or, you have some great info or anything like that we should talk about or talk with you about, send us a message. Let us know. We love talking about it. We got to fill some shows here over the winter before we all just, lose our minds staring at the wall when we do stop racing. But
yeah,
we still have a bit of time, right? We'll have to, some more racing. We'll have to winterize all that stuff. And yeah, not fun. I'm not excited for it.
No, I'm just looking forward to the last few weeks that I've got, and just anything after October 20th. I don't care. I'll deal with that. That sounds like an October 21st Andrew problem right now, not this Andrew's problem.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, guys, thank you all for hanging out, for tuning in, and send us a couple of notes in the chat. We appreciate that, and we will see you at the racetrack. If not, good luck, and talk to you all soon.
Sounds good. See ya.
Canadian racers, make sure your next set of seatbelts and racing suit are from ProOneSafety.ca. Pro One Racing and Safety products offer high-quality products made in the USA and now distributed in Canada. Pro One Canada offers seatbelts, racing suits, helmets, and all sorts of safety accessories for drag racers. See for yourself why NHRA sportsmen world champions such as Bo Butner, Jeff Strickland, the Emmons brothers, Austin Williams, and many more rely on Pro One Racing and Safety products. Join the winners. Choose Pro One. Buy high-quality American-made products from your Canadian wholesale distributor at ProOneSafety.ca.